Good morning. Welcome back to Entrepreneur Country TV. This is edition 49. We had an incredible Follow the Entrepreneur Investor Summit, our 6th annual, with the partnership of Credit Suisse at the Four Seasons Hampshire a week or so ago. And as we all decided to follow the entrepreneur, we heard many entrepreneurs talking about the future of their industries, their ecosystems, and their geographies. We're sharing those sights and sounds, insights, and keynotes with you on Entrepreneur Country TV. The idea behind the Follow the Entrepreneur Investor Summit is to get the capital providers, the financiers, to understand that their role is to follow the entrepreneur.
Our belief is that the entrepreneurs create a better future.
It's a very great idea to bring a lot of people that are very different, but at the same time share a perception that the world of tomorrow is in the hands of whoever wants to shape it. So it's better to exchange and share visions.
I just found it a thoroughly stimulating and engaging experience. There were some remarkable human beings walking around.
I've been to a number of these events and the insights that you get are fascinating.
I think it's a really interesting forum to discuss the future.
We've had people speaking about the future of genetics, the future of energy, luxury, money, farming.
What we've done is create this network by investors, for investors.
We will have a complete new reality of banking.
The simple role of a leader today is not to create a follower of that leader, but just to create more leaders.
You'll never achieve equality of outcomes, but you should always strive for equality of opportunity.
I said, no, we have to go forward. We have to become global.
We're delighted to be partnering with Credit Suisse for the last year and many years to come. They've been absolutely fantastic.
Great people, great topics, great underlying investee companies.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. I was impressed by the quality of the speakers.
It's very diverse in terms of topics.
A fantastic array of speakers.
We are talking about some new things, talking about creating new platforms. For me, it's really a happy day for Ariadne Capital.
There's one thing that we encourage people to do to understand Ariadne Capital and our whole ethos. It's to come to this event, which we host at the Four Seasons Hampshire every single year. It's the one thing that really gives you an awesome pair of glasses for understanding who we are.
For those of us like journalists who are outside kind of peering in, it's terrifically interesting to have people in an informal environment talking about all the issues that actually journalists are writing about, and it's fun too.
Thank you for giving us a day of your time. It's really, really valuable to us, and I hope that you've gotten something out of it. So thank you guys. Thank you very much. He's been called the private equity professional of the decade. He is an entrepreneur and innovator in the financing of innovation and private equity. He's Jeremy Collar. We're so pleased to name him as one of our founding shareholders at Ariadne Capital, and we took a moment to interview Jeremy Collar at our Follow the Entrepreneur Investor Summit to ask him how the FAIR initiative that he developed to stop animal factory farming is going.
What I talked about this morning was a new phenomenon, which is factory farming, which has snuck up on us since the 50s. For instance, 30% of pigs are kept in a factory farm in 1992. By 2013, it was over 97% in the US. Factory farming has snuck up on us because of the Green Revolution, which allowed us to grow a lot more cereals through the confluence of discovery of antibiotics, chemical fertilizers, herbicides and pesticides. There are 4 inconvenient truths about it: health, climate, food security, and planet scarce resources. In terms of health, 80% of all antibiotics in the US are used on factory farms, 50% in Europe. Who knew? In terms of, they're just quick examples. In terms of climate, more greenhouse gases are produced by factory farms than the whole transport sector, including planes and cars and trucks, etc. In terms of food security, it takes 6 kilos of plant protein to get 1 kilo of animal protein. Plant protein would be a lot cheaper if it wasn't for taxpayers' subsidies, which of course we're paying for. The maths doesn't work. Animals are now out-competing humans for cereals. And in terms of the planet's resources, fresh water, 1,000 litres of fresh water to get 100 calories from a cow, as opposed to 38 litres of water to get 100 calories from a potato. These 4 inconvenient truths are actually the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. It's really scary. What I'm doing is I've started an initiative for investors, by investors, for investors, to bridge the knowledge gap. Consumers are now becoming aware that, and they're starting to buy organic food. You've got businesses becoming aware, like Virgin America, not having any factory farmed eggs on their planes anymore. They have to be cage-free eggs. And you've got regulators starting to care, like the state of California, Governor Jerry Brown, saying that he's not allowing the use of antibiotics as a prophylactic anymore. Investors, there is a knowledge gap. And because I'm Chief Investment Officer of an investment firm and I have access to other CIOs and I understand the investment world, what we're saying is, let's bridge the knowledge gap. It's an investment risk. We've created tools. We've come up with 28 ESG risks, so environmental, social and governance risks that investors should be aware of. And we've got an alliance of over $1.5 trillion of investors to ask 10 restaurant chains, what are they doing about getting rid of the antibiotics in their food supply chain? I'm optimistic that we can have an impact. I hope it's not too late.
Jeremy is using his incredible power as a private equity professional and innovator in the investment space to stop something that he perceives as wrong and ineffective. If you'd like to help him, we'll put you in contact with his team. That brings us to the end of Entrepreneur Country TV this week. We'll continue to release the best of our keynotes and interviews from the 4 seasons Follow the Entrepreneur Investors Summit over the coming weeks on Entrepreneur Country TV and on our website. Thanks very much. I'll see you next week.